Welcome to Outside Gillette Stadium, everybody. I'm Mike Petraglia, joined as always by Patriots expert columnist and beat writer for WEEI.com, Christopher Price. Chris, the main attraction today at minicamp, as the Patriots are winding it down, looking ahead to training camp in July, was Tom Brady. He spoke about where he sees his career going. I know you had a piece on WEEI.com. Talk about, in your estimation, what he can accomplish in a setting like this, teaching Jimmy Garoppolo and working on his own game.
Well, I think right now it's all about building a foundation for the 2014 season. That includes his own work, as well as working with guys like Jimmy Garoppolo and Ryan Mallett, the backup quarterback, as well as the rest of the offense. It's interesting to note, last year, for all the talk about Brady losing all of his offensive options, 4 of his top 5 offensive options, his targets, all left, free agency. This year, they have their top 10 targets back on the roster. That includes guys like Julian Edelman, Shane Vereen, Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Dobson. All of those guys are back. There is not as much of a getting to know you process this time around like there was last year. So I think a little bit of that transition from the offseason into these workouts here through the course of the spring and the summer is going to be used a little bit.
He was asked, naturally, about that article a couple of weeks ago that he had lost a little bit off his fastball. He was no longer, quote-unquote, an elite top 5 quarterback. He said, I always have something to prove. And then he joked with us over right by the training camp's billboard over there. He said, was it a Jet fan? Was it a Bills fan? But anyway, he took it in good humor, as you might imagine he would. But obviously, the fire still burns within him. Do you think Tom Brady, deep down, feels he has a point to prove?
I think he always feels like he has a point to prove. I think that's in his DNA. You know, whether it works is another matter, but I think that's part and parcel of who he is. I mean, he just talked about the fact that, look, I was a 6th-round pick. Nothing was handed to me. He has maintained that attitude. You talk to guys who played with him now, and guys who played with him previously, they all say he brings the same thing to the field each and every day. There's that feeling of having to prove yourself. Right. There's that chip on your shoulder. I don't think he's lost it this season.
It certainly did not appear in talking with us for a good 10, 12 minutes after his long workout this afternoon that he had lost any focus or any intensity whatsoever.
I think it was really interesting today. We haven't seen a lot of it over the course of the mini camps, over the course of the OTAs and mini camps before today. He had some really nice throws today. He delivered a couple of really nice balls to Edelman. There was a touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone on one of the 11-on-11 drills, up and over Brandon Browner. He put it in Kenbrell Tompkins' hands, only where Tompkins could make that catch. There was a really great catch down the sidelines. The name of the receiver escapes me now. But he looked really sharp today. One thing that's also important to note, Garoppolo kind of started slow last time. He built to a pretty good point, showed some more good stuff today. Had a couple of nice throws, had a couple of nice catches. So the quarterback position today really stood out for a couple.
Before we get back to Tom Brady, Darrelle Revis, you spotted him on the field, but then he left midway through the minicamp practice today. Anything you think comes of that?
Not at this point, no. I think I might be a little bit concerned if they do have minicamp practice tomorrow, if he's not out there. But I don't think long term, I don't think it's a big issue. We didn't see him get carted off. Right. So if there was some sort of red flag that was raised, if he was carted off, if he kind of pulled up on the route, that would be one thing. I don't think it's anything that I should.
All right, back to Tom Brady. Brady was talking to us about the fact that he was very lucky, Chris, to come into the NFL when he did. Not only did he come in at the same time as Bill Belichick and learn the playbook along with Belichick, as he was telling us today, but he was able to go to quarterback school from 9 to 5. Like you were mentioning earlier, the work ethic that he had, not only on the field but in the classroom, was really phenomenal. And it certainly appears that's one of the things he can really pass on to Garoppolo, what to look for when you're studying.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, and this is only maybe less than half the job what we see out here. It's working in the weight room, it's watching film, it's conditioning, it's taking care of your body. All of those little things that happen out of our sight, those are the important things that he can pass along to Garoppolo. Look, we can talk all the livelong day about technique and approach and attitude on field and commanding the huddle and trying to emulate Brady in that regard, but I think the important thing is off the field. How is Brady passing along those lessons? And I think to this point, he's going very well.
All right. Yes, Tom Brady was asked about his wife, Giselle, and whether or not she, being of course, Brazilian heritage, would be going to the World Cup. Yes, she is. He did confirm that, but it's not known whether or not, he at least said he didn't know whether or not he was going to be going to Brazil for the World Cup. So we'll have to wait and see if anything appears on his Facebook page as to whether or not Tom Brady will be south of the equator watching some of the other type of football. Until we see you, I guess, in training camp in the summer, Chris.
Not all that far removed.
No, it is not. Have a great summer. We wish you the best.
You too.
You have a great summer, Chris. I'm Mike Petraglia. He's Christopher Price, outside Gillette Stadium from minicamp, building WEEI.com.